I am Kaustubh and I am back with my new video. In the last video, we will be discussing about screening and evaluation of breast cancer. And under that, we discussed about the examination protocol, the screening protocol. Then we discussed about the examination protocol. And we also discussed about the ultrasound findings, which suggest of a benign pathology and a malignancy of the breast. So now in this video, we are going to totally discuss about the mammography. Now, basically, what is a mammography? So mammography is nothing but it is a high voltage, sorry, it's a high amperage, low voltage. It's a high amperage, low voltage X-ray of the breast. So it's nothing but a X-ray or a simple radiogram which you carry out for the breast. That is what is a mammogram. So as you can see in this specific animation, how actually a mammogram is taken. This is a mammogram machine. The the person who reads or the technician who conducts the mammography is beyond the pair, and you have this machine. This is the board or the stage of the mammogram machine, and this is the superior plastic coated or an synthetic plate which will be brought down according to the adjustment of the size of the breast for the mammography. The patient has to stand on the near the stage of the mammogram, and between this plastic blade and the stage of the mammogram machine, we will almost gently compress the tissue, and then the x-rays will be fired from the above, and then you will get the mammogram. So this is how actually a mammogram is conducted. Now, in a mammogram, there are views. So let's see what are the views of a mammogram. So basically, as you can see, this is one of the examples of a mammogram that I have shown. L means left and R means right, as you can see. So both the breasts are studied, and you get two types of views. So the first type of view which we have is known as craniocaudal view. Craniocaudal view, that is a CC. That means from the above and below, how actually the breast looks like. Means if you see, this is a left craniocaudal view, then this is the superior most angle, this is the inferior most angle. This is how it looks like. And the second type of view which we take during a mammogram is known as an MLO, also known as mediolateral oblique. So these are the two views which we take for a mammogram. One is a mediolateral oblique and another is a craniocaudal view, which is taken for a mammographic study. Now, under for which woman do we take a mammograph? So basically remember, this is an X-ray. So in a young aged individual or a young lady, there will be a dense tissue, and if the tissue is dense, definitely you cannot identify it against this black background. Yes, this black background as well as this white background, it will these two will act as a contrast for the study of the breast tissue. So since the breast tissue is dense in a younger lady, mammogram is not to be included under the screening as well as investigation patterns for breast cancer. So basically mammogram is basically to be performed in a more than 40 years old lady. So this should be taken in a more than 40 years old lady. Now, coming to how actually a mammographic patterns look like. So this is going to help you to differentiate a benign pathology from a malignant pathology. So we have few images in front of us You can see on the left side you are having the benign masses, and on the right side you are having malignant masses. So now what is the basic line of difference between the two? Now if we see a benign pathology, it has a low density. You can see the density is relatively low as compared to that of a malignant pathology. So a malignant lesion of the breast will have a high density on mammogram. Then you have the homogeneity. Then a benign lesion is quite homogeneous, whereas a malignant is heterogeneous. It is quite heterogeneous. You can see in this image as well as in this image, you can compare. This tissue is quite homogeneously opaque in benign, whereas this is a malignant lesion. You can find out there are areas of opacity and lucency in between. So this irregular nature of opacities and lucency coming in between, this is heterogeneity, which is a feature suggestive of a lesion being malignant. Then you have something known as calcifications. So macro calcifications, that means a larger calcification is suggestive of a benign pathology, whereas micro calcifications are suggestive of malignant pathology. We will definitely see it further. Furthermore, if you want to look at the skin, okay, the skin over the breast in a benign pathology is normal, whereas in a malignant pathology, it is thick or retracted. It is thick or retracted. So this is how you basically differentiate a benign from a malignant. Definitely these three are going to be the mainstay for differentiating a benign disease from a malignant disease. Now, let's have a look at different patterns of calcification. So now I am showing you micro calcifications. Okay. So you have micro calcifications, you have density, architecture, and boundaries. These are what are actually described when you look at a mammogram. Now, in this specific image that has been given to you, you can see that this is features suggestive of malignancy. Here you can see micro calcifications. See, these are small, tiny calcifications that can be seen over here in this image. Whereas you can see the density is quite heterogeneous. Yeah, this is the lesion which you can see. There is a opacity, and then you have some areas which are lucent in between. So this second feature which is suggestive, okay, so micro calcification, uh, asymmetric density, and architectural distortion. You can see that the basic architecture has been distorted, the shape of the tissue is distorted, and finally it is a mass like boundary. So a mass can be seen with an irregular boundary. So basically presence of microcalcifications, densities which are asymmetric, then an architectural distortion and an abnormal boundary of a mass. These are the four specific, highly specific findings suggestive of malignancy on a mammogram. Then, then let's have a look at different type of calcification. So as I told you, there are micro calcifications and macro calcifications. So now, firstly, you have micro calcifications. That means small calcifications are seen. Micro calcifications can be of different types. Micro calcification can be a grouped, they could be linear, they could be segmental, they could be regional, and they could be diffuse. They could be diffuse. So These are the different type of microcalcifications, and definitely microcalcifications mean cancer. This is suggestive of a malignant disease, right? So here in this given specific image, you can see this is a diffuse calcification. You can see small white opacities, very micro opacities throughout the breast. This is a diffuse microcalcification. Then you have these specific region of the breast showing microcalcification. This is called regional microcalcification. Then you have a linear, that means you can see that in a single line you have microcalcifications arranged like this. Whereas grouped means like a group. So as we used to study in microbiology, like streptococcus, staphylococcus, similarly like that, in a line, in a chain, if you are having microcalcification, it's a linear microcalcification, and if it is a group, we call it as grouped microcalcification. And here you can see in a specific segment, that means going towards a specific terminal ductal lobular unit, you can see the microcalcification. So these are the different patterns which we see when it comes to microcalcification. Okay, then these are certain specific macrocalcifications that we need to know. Now, when it comes to macrocalcification, definitely it will be suggestive that this is a benign pathology. It is a benign pathology, right? Now, here we have three examples which are classically to be known of. If you look at this, you have calcification which is going up to the nipple areola complex, and you can see this broken needle appearance. This is called a broken needle calcification. This is known as a broken needle macrocalcification. Then here you can see in the second image, it looks exactly like a popcorn, popcorn calcification. So this is also known as this is called as popcorn macrocalcification. Whereas the third image, which has been shown to you, you can see it looks as if it is a cracked eggshell. It looks like a cracked eggshell. This is called eggshell calcification. This is called eggshell macrocalcification. What are the examples? In which condition do you get these? So broken needle calcification occurs because you can definitely understand that this, suppose this is a duct. When this duct undergoes ectasia, that means undergo dilatation. A duct ectasia will cause stasis. There will be inflammation, and when the ducts undergo inflammation, they will heal by sclerosis, and there will be calcium deposition along the ducts. So when there will be calcium deposition along the ducts, that will lead to a broken needle calcification. So broken needle calcification is seen in, it is seen in duct ectasia. It is seen in duct ectasia. Popcorn calcification. Popcorn calcification is seen in a benign condition, which we will discuss later on in a new video, is fibroadenoma. Is fibroadenoma. And eggshell calcification is seen in a condition that occurs after a trauma to the breast. This is seen in a condition known as fat necrosis. That is seen in fat necrosis, a very, very important differential for breast cancer. So this is how a mammography will show you a benign and a malignant lesion. Now, when a mammography is done, the mammography is reported with the help of a system known as BI-RADS. By system known as BI-RADS. BI-RADS is breast imaging reporting and data system. So BI-RADS is breast imaging reporting and data system, under which depending upon the observation, it is divided into different categories. What we need to know is what observation will belong to which category. So 0 means that there is no any specific identifiable imaging finding, and so we call it as a 0 category, and you need to do it new investigation or you need to repeat for this patient. So nothing but you need to repeat. Now, one means it's a totally negative, a totally normal breast is reported as 1. A benign breast is reported as 2. And what you should do is you should follow for 1 and 2 routine screening protocol. Means, like, for example, if I have a patient whose age is 43 years, she has undergone a mammography, and now her mammography comes as breast imaging reporting and data system BI-RADS 2. That means the lesion is probably a benign lesion. So what you should do is you should screen her again and again annually until the age of 75. Otherwise, unless and until any specific symptom which is causing discomfort is occurring, you will not operate. Then you have 3. BI-RADS 3 means it is probably benign, means it is neither looking a completely benign one, nor it is going towards uh, a malignant suspicion. So what you do is you follow up for 6 months with mammography again. So now in benign, we were doing an annual mammography, whereas in probably benign, that is BI-RADS 3, we will go for 6 months cycle of mammography screening. Then the 4 is suspicious of. So suspicious of means there are few micro calcifications, few macro calcifications. It is neither fitting into anyone. In such case, you should go for tissue diagnosis, that is true cut biopsy. True cut biopsy. Then you have the 5th one. Score 5 or category 5 is highly suggestive of malignancy. That means that there is a suspicion of more than 95% suspicion of malignancy, and in such case again you will go for true cut biopsy. Whereas 6 is a mammography which has been already proven to be a malignancy, by true cut biopsy somewhere else. So in such case, what we do is that yes, you will come to know from the mammogram that yes, it is a malignant. The history will tell you that true cut biopsy was done. So simply you will go for surgery. You will simply go for surgery. So this is how a BI-RADS is basically conducted. You observe the breast by a mammogram in the two views, craniocaudal and mediolateral oblique. Identify whether there are specific benign indications, specific malignant indications from the mammograph, and based on that, scoring from 0 to 5. And if there is a history of previous true cut biopsy, then score 6 can play a role in there. And then depending upon the category the patient falls into, the management will differ. So yeah, that was all about the topic of mammography. In the upcoming video, we will be talking about MRI and the tissue diagnosis, that is true cut biopsy, and about the FNACs. So yeah, if you have liked the video, please like it, share it, and follow us on Inspiring Minds on India on Instagram. Thank you so much.